So something that's been bouncing around in the back of my mind is file organization. Specifically, how I organize my files so that I can work independently of any specific DAM software like Lightroom or any software for that matter. As you may know from my weekly edit series, I edit images in a lot of different programs. So I don't want to rely just on one specific software to organize my images, like Lightroom, for instance, where I would need the catalog to actually dig into my images to find them. Now, I know people do this in many different ways. Some people just dump their images in Apple Photos, if you're a Mac user, and find them that way. That, of course, takes up a lot of space in the cloud specifically. Or they just have one photos folder. But for me specifically, I've got a very specific structure that I've sort of developed over the years where it's a folder-based system on the hard drive, an external hard drive specifically, independent of the actual computer, that's then backed up to the cloud. But that's not really the point of this specific video. What I want to show you guys is how I organize my files so that I can easily, one, find them, and two, quickly jump between programs and different edits and still be able to find my images. So yeah, let's jump in and I will show you. Okay, so on the screen here, I've sort of got 4 Finder windows open here just for the sake of speed. So here I've got my memory card. It says no name. Why, I have no idea. Plugged into my card reader over there. So let's open that up. So this is as I would actually come back from a shoot, put my card into the card reader and ingest my images. So I open up the memory card, drill down to where the images are. So I'm not going to copy all of them. This is actually a memory card from my Sony RX10 IV. So for this particular exercise, let's just take these images that were shot in Cape Town a little while back. Let's just select a number of them here. Let's just go from here down to, let's say, there. So we have this nice set here, beautiful. It was a beautiful sunset. So I'll copy them. So I'll say copy from the memory card. Then I'll actually go to my external hard drive. And on my external hard drive, I have obviously many different folders. It's a 16 terabyte drive. But for my photography, I have a specific photography folder, as you can see. In my photography folder, I have many different resources, but what I have specifically for images is my digital negatives. I come from the days of film where we actually had physical negatives in folders or files, so that I refer to my digital raw files as my digital negatives. So inside my digital negatives folder on my external drive that's backed up to the cloud, I have all my digital negatives since, so you can get 2008. I have some older ones on another drive, and then also have my film images in folders in dedicated crates or storage crates things. Anyway, so here you can see all my digital files per year. So let's say we were 2022. So come into this folder. I have all my shoots here. So I would actually create a new folder. Let's say 2022 dash, where we now, February 2nd month, and we are in, it's actually Valentine's Day, look at that. And I will say Cape Town, I'll name the date and then the name of the shoot. So say Cape Town Beach Sunset. So they'll automatically organize it up there. Then inside the folder, I will create 2 new folders, one that says capture, and one that says output. And inside the capture folder, I will create a folder for each camera I used. If I used multiple cameras, in this case it was just the Sony RX10 IV, and then I'll double click on that, and then I will paste those raw images. Let's bring the JPEGs in as well. Great. So we'll just give that a moment. Shouldn't take too long. So while that's copying, so the system is very simple, actually, very basic, but it's the most practical I've found to be able to, in a very logical way, keep track of my images, and then also being very easily drag them into a catalog system like Lightroom, or if I use another program like DxO PhotoLab, that does not use a catalog, that I can easily find my images in the folder browser, folder tree that the program uses. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just quickly going to get rid of the JPEGs. I'm going to sort by kind, and then we're going to go JPEG all the way down there, and we're going to delete those. So here would be my raw files. Now, obviously, these are file names from the camera. I would rename these using Adobe Bridge. Maybe I'll demonstrate this in a moment if we have a little bit of time. So essentially, what we have now, I have my images inside the specific camera folder, inside my capture folder, which is inside my digital negative folder for the shoot. So I knew it was in Cape Town, I knew it was 2022, so I come back looking for it here. So it's 2022, so February, there we go, Cape Town beach sunset. Double click into that. So that's capture done. And then output, normally I output inside the output folder, I make a folder called web, and I make a folder called high res. And then I export my high-res JPEGs into the high-res folder and my web-ready JPEGs into the web folder. The great thing about that is it automatically gets backed up to the cloud. It says on the hard drives, backed up to the cloud via Backblaze, if you're familiar with it. And the great thing about that is those are JPEGs sitting on a server somewhere in the cloud, essentially. So let's say I'm traveling, I don't have anything with me except for my laptop, and I need those JPEGs. I can quickly actually grab them from Backblaze, from the cloud essentially, and they are ready to post, to send to clients. Whereas if I only had the raw files backed up, if I don't output anything to that specific shoot folder, I would have to edit them again. I don't have the catalog, I don't have the sidecar files from, let's say, DxO PhotoLab. So it's a nice way of just having files ready to post for a specific purpose, or print, or if the client needs them again, etc. So that's my whole file organization, essentially. So if we run through that again, my images from the memory card, I go to my hard drive where the photography folder sits. Inside my photography folder, I have obviously some resources, but I have a specific digital negatives folder. Inside the digital negatives folder, a lot of repetition there, I have a digital negatives folder for each year. In this case, we were working, let's, for argument's sake, 2022. So inside that specific digital negative year folder, I then have each shoot organized by date and shoot name. This one was in February, so this was Cape Town beach sunset. So there's the date, shoot name, and inside the shoot folder, I then have a capture folder for the raw files or all captured images from the shoot, and an output folder. Inside the capture folder, I have a folder for each camera used. And inside the output folder, I have a high-res folder for the high-res JPEGs and a web folder for the web-ready JPEGs. And that is essentially that. I hope that helps. Before I end, actually interrupting myself, let's quickly have a look how that works then in practice. We have a bit of extra time, so let's do that actually. Let's not make another video for that. So let's say we go back to that specific folder, Cape Town Beach Sunset, capture, and there are the images. So I want to rename them. So now I go to, I can actually, I mean, you can rename them just inside the Finder. The reason I like to use Bridge, so let's open Bridge quickly. If it will actually open anytime now. Maybe I won't. Well, there's actually opening, but while Bridge is giving me a moment. So the reason I like to use Adobe Bridge is I can add my metadata there. I can rename the files, batch rename them, and I can batch or bulk add metadata to the images, which I can't do inside the Finder actually. So when I drag them in, so then they have the metadata sidecar files next to them. So Lightroom can read it. When I import the images into Lightroom, the metadata is already there. And then when I edit them in DxO PhotoLab, for instance, or on One Raw, or Darktable, what else do I have? Photoshop, then the metadata is already there. Okay, so here we have Bridge. Let's just quickly drag that into the screen here. And I have my folder structure here. So the nice thing about Bridge is it's super responsive, very quick. So there's my digital negatives folder. It's out there. We were in 2022. I could also just search for things, but and it'll filter it out, which is great. So we go to 2022, and what did I say? Cape Town beach sunset on the 14th of February. There we go. So I can carry on in the folder tree here, or I can actually just click on the folders here. So go to Capture, Sony, and here I have the files. So I select the first one, and then I go down, shift click, select the last one, and then you can't see that actually on the screen, but you go to Tools, you go to Batch Rename, and here I have a little preset that I made. Essentially, I always start with my initials, so Cornelius Miller, that's CM, then I have a little underscore, then I have the date. So in this case, it's going to be, for argument's sake, we time travel back to 2022, second month, 14th. So that's the date. Then I have another underscore. Then I have the country code with an underscore to create the space. Then I have the name of Cape Town Beach Sunset underscore, and then I have a 3-digit numbering sequence, and that is that. So that comes up every time. So it's very quick to just adjust the details for the specific shoot, and that's done. And on the bottom here, you can actually see current file name, and the new file name will be CM date or underscore date underscore country code. So it's ZA South Africa, or CH for Switzerland, or etc. IT for Italy, and the name of the shoot underscore sequence, and then the raw extension. So then I go rename, and then we'll see over here, quickly renames them. That's great. Give it a moment to regenerate the thumbnails. And then, then I select all images again. You can also just Command A. And now I go again to Tools. Sorry, it's out of screen, but I'll talk you through. So it's Tools, Replace Metadata, and then I have a metadata preset that I made. Default import, so that's like a bulk metadata replacement, and you can see that happening on the right. So all these fields were empty, and now with my preset, this is still so these are my details. So all these details stay consistent for each image set. The only things that change is the name of the shoot or the folder. So I can actually just grab that from the file name here quickly. So I'll just grab that, and then I go there, and then here I have a little placeholder. So I'll change the location, I'll change the day. So location will be Cape Town, day will be 14th February 2022, and that's that. And then here keywords, enter the keywords again. These are just placeholders, and then I'll add more keywords. I'm not going to do that now, save some time. And then copyright, then you can then you can just say okay at the bottom here, and then it'll add the preset also adds the copyright. And I'll just enter again the shoot name, just say okay on the bottom right, just out of screen, sorry about that. And the last one again, and just a little check mark, okay. And that is that. So all my metadata. So that's all my metadata done. So now I can close Bridge. And again, the nice thing about Bridge, or Adobe Bridge, is it's super responsive, whether it's Windows or Mac. It's a very, very fast program. So that's nice. So let's just go. We'll quit Bridge quickly. So in the folder here, you can see also again, the images are all renamed with the sidecar metadata sidecar files. And again, great, that's that. Now let's say I want to edit the images in Lightroom. So if we go here to Adobe Lightroom, I'll obviously have to open the catalog. It's a bit of a mess inside this catalog folder. Not too much, but a little bit. Excuse that. Drag that. Give it a moment. Drag that into frame. Am I in frame? Yeah, there we go. That was the previous. Okay, so now wherever I'm in Lightroom, all I need to do is actually, well, let's just drag that off to the side a little bit, is grab the folder here. Okay, Downbeat Sunset. I just drag that onto Lightroom and it'll automatically open the import dialog. It knows where the folder is. And because my folder structure is on my hard drive in my folder system, I don't want to move the images. I don't want to copy them anywhere with Lightroom. So all I do is I just say at the top here, I just say add. That's the loading screen. So there are the images. All I do is say add, and I say import. Now the great thing about this is it's super fast. It's not copying the images. It's not renaming them. It's not moving them. So super fast. It builds the one-to-one previews. Should finish momentarily. And then I can actually edit. There we go, building them there. And now they're in my catalog, they're in my folder system, super organized, in my opinion at least. And there we go, preview is built, and off we go. You can select an image, hit D, and edit. That's obviously not a sharp one. Haha. Facepalm. Okay, yeah, so that's Lightroom. So that's Lightroom done. We'll quit skip. And the great thing about this is, let's say I open DxO quickly. I know exactly where my images are. DxO PhotoLab 9. There we go. Drag that onto the screen. A bit smaller. And again, on DxO, here's my folder tree on the left. So I just close that down. And digital negatives, 2022. And I go to my, oh no, that's 2012. Sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry. 2022. 0214. There we go. Okay, Downbeat Sunset, capture, Sony RX10, and they are my images. And the great thing is we can actually just double click and start to edit. There we go. Go back to photo library. Perfect. So that is how I organize my images independent of any specific software, so I can jump between programs and not be dependent on any specific damn software for my image organization. I know it might be a little bit old school. It's not very high tech, but I find it works. Like the saying goes, simplicity scales, complexity fails. Cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Shoot me a message. Any questions, happy to answer them. Have fun making images, and I'll see you guys in the next one.